NyanCave!
Hey, hi, hello.
Hi.
I'm gonna kick my ass.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're not you.
You're not me.
What?
Yeah. Oh, fuck you. No, shoot, it's too early in the video to swear. Damn it. Happy Canada Day.
Oh, you did it.
Perfect.
You did it this time, buddy.
Saved
buddy.
it.
Yeah.
This is going on my permanent record.
It's going on our permanent record. You have to realize, Clay, that this isn't just about you. This is about us. That's on my permanent record.
Wait, but you're not me. I said that. Anyway, we're finishing up Yosuke's story here.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, zoomed in gameplay is best gameplay.
It's because this is like it's rendered at a lower thing.
Now you've really done it.
So when I restart, it's fine.
I am a shadow, the true self, big bro.
Nanako freaking Hanamura!
She looks good there. It's funny.
Right? With wearing
Yosuke looks super cute, by the way. Is Sprite
Sprite? Which one?
on the left?
Yeah, he's got a good look going on.
Yeah, right.
They have big calves though, really big calves.
Ooh,
not a problem.
wow.
Just just something I noticed.
It's a cut of the pants. Okay.
Hey guys,
Hey!
might be a bit behind on your P4 vids for a while, but I wanted to simp for Issei and Madame Prez. She like a femme Joey Wheeler.
She is Dabby-Tari. Joey Wheeler.
Why, it's me, Joey Wheeler, Josephine Wheeler.
Could be the clothes.
Wow, he's good at blocking. It's like he knows everything I'm going to do. Wait, is it actually mirroring what I'm doing? It totally is! It's mirroring me! Wait, but then it does better.
It's mirroring you only more.
Shoot. Oh, it's his persona that's broken.
Your persona is also broken. No, it's you. You're broken. Hey, you can do the insta-kill now if you want.
You're dead. Wow,
You
he walked
caught
right
him!
into it.
Wow. Cheese!
Nice. Now tap on his head. Yeah, waffle reset. We got a couple cool prizes coming your way.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a vote, community vote, very soon.
We're gonna do a few community votes
Yeah,
pretty
we
soon.
got some changes coming for the better, of course.
Do you like voting?
But this month we're gonna have 3 merch shop prize winners. So there's more of you that are going to win, and we're gonna have an Izanagi statue, which is pretty cool.
With a tongue thing.
Hold on, I got a message on Discord. It's probably really important.
Is it?
Live now with Persona 4 Arena, ULTIMAX, Climax, Super Ultra Flying Knee Trial of the Dragon Edition at everyone. The NyanCave ignore.
Don't ignore me.
Worthless.
You did it, Senpai! That was awesome!
You kicked your ass.
I let Reese's adulation wash over me. But there's something bugging me. Something that could be really bad for me.
About my conversation with my shadow. Did you?
Record the whole thing, yes.
I hijacked the school PA system.
Ooh. I knew it. Everyone had been backing me up because they'd been hearing everything I'd said leading up to it.
Saw my shadow last time. And now everyone got to listen in? Ah, so lame.
Oh no, you're like everyone else
That's
now.
not true. You were really cool, Senpai.
Yeah, let's talk about Risei's shadow. How about that?
Thanks.
Ugh. Miss President looks like she's having trouble finding words for this. Damn, she's horrified by me.
It's such a funny face he's making while he's thinking that.
I can't blame her. She was left out of the picture. But, well, explaining it to her can wait. I need to do something about my shadow. But when I turn around, my shadow isn't there.
Where did he go? If he disappears, won't my persona... Wait.
Something's not right. I used my persona during that fight. But my persona is my shadow, so if my shadow left me, how could I have used my persona? As I'm struggling with that, Rise speaks up.
Something's not right.
Her voice is firm. Did she just think of the same conundrum that I had? No, that's not at all. There's an eerie presence all around. Even I can feel it. It must be hitting Rise like a jolt of electricity. I can't let my guard down.
Yeah. Rise, Miss President, stay close to...
Right at that moment, the lights go out and darkness covers the room.
What the hell?
I can't believe you've made it this far. They repeatedly suffered the pain of fighting their friends, but they still didn't lose heart.
Ooh. The lights come back on.
Oh man, this tune. Oh, it's been so long.
Right? When they do, the fake Teddy is standing there.
I don't know if we heard it earlier, but definitely kind of hit me now.
Why is it looking like that now? Wait, was it the one talking in that weird voice? Fake Teddy ignores me and looks at Miss
No
President.
one can understand you after all. What a shame.
Who are you?
Then you weren't my shadow?
I want to make people fight. I especially want friends to fight against each other. Then maybe they'll understand how I feel. That was your wish, wasn't it?
What are you saying?
What does it mean? This was my wish. And what's with that voice? Wait a minute. It's not talking to me. Then you mean...
Senpai, get back! This shadow's reacting to Miss President! It was really her shadow!
What?
I can feel my brain cracking open like a dropped watermelon. That's Miss President's shadow? But it just said it was my shadow. But now that I think about it, this General Teddy has always been hostile to her, ever since we met outside the school. That would explain Rise's voice on the PA system too. Well, duh! If a normal person's in here for long enough, of course her shadow's gonna split away from her. I should have known that! After all, that's exactly what kept happening last year. Miss President just looked so healthy that it never occurred to me. This is just... as if... to mock my astonishment, the shadow keeps talking in General Teddy's shape.
I did exactly what you wished. So, how did that work out for you?
Sorry, is this General Teddy's shape or is this Teddy's general shape?
They still couldn't understand you. No one can really understand how we feel, can they? Come on. How much longer are you going to keep deceiving yourself? Didn't you hear them say you shouldn't ignore who you are? Here, I'll show you your reality.
With that sound, the enemy finally shows its real form.
It's so cool.
It's so good. Magical girl transformation.
I love how this design is just really like a collision of P3 and P4 in every sense. Also, giant axes.
It's so cool. I can't wait to see her do stuff, man. I'm excited for that.
I'm into it.
I am a shadow. The true self.
That's my face.
But that's all that's the same. Even though her shadow has the same face, her body is wrapped in metal. Miss President screams at what appears to be something from a sci-fi flick.
Well, you must remember now.
No, I'm not like that.
Oh boy.
No, Miss President, calm down. A shadow doesn't just take on your appearance. You look like a twisted version of you to agitate you even more.
Eve.
No.
I tried calming her down, but my words aren't reaching her. She just keeps shaking her head in denial. What's going on here? Shadows are the things that exemplify what their originals want to be. I've never heard of them transforming into other people. The shadow sees my confusion and smiles.
An illusion.
Huh?
It's an illusion. Isn't that what you thought when you fought your friends? Your senses were being deceived, warping what you saw, twisting what you heard.
That's how you made my senpai fight each other. Is that your power?
Not just mine. It's actually our power. Isn't that so? Me.
What is she saying?
No. I'm not like you. I'm human.
Miss President crouches down and says the words that are always bad. With that, the shadow smile grows even more menacing and it snaps its fingers again. At that moment, something like TV static flashes across my eyes. I rub my eyes. The static doesn't cover the entire field of view, but slowly begins to focus around the president. When it clears, Miss President has changed. Metallic limbs stretch from her uniform. Something metallic, like wings, unfurl from her back. There's no doubt. She's the same as the shadow standing in front of her. She cries out and tries to cover her ears, but when she does, the sound of metal grinding against metal accompanies her movements. I see myself reflected in the shiny metal of her fingers.
Robot.
So that means the shadow isn't some fancy fantasy version. That's her true self. So Miss President was the one trying to look like a human?
I'm human! You still believe that about yourself? No human can do that. And you know it.
The shadow points at me and I'm at a loss for words. I look around, but in the end, my eyes meet hers. We both fall silent. In those few seconds, I can feel a deep rift growing between us.
No, don't get me wrong. I was just a little surprised.
I'm human.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Suddenly, there's an explosion so loud that I think my eardrums are blown out. The smoke makes me cough and my eyes tear up. I manage to focus and see a hole in the wall. I can barely see through the smoke, but I can see the hallway on the other side. Eventually, the smoke clears and a shape steps through the hole.
What the? I didn't sense anything until now.
Elizabeth? Oh, shit!
It was a girl. Blonde hair, blue, crystal-like eyes.
This toaster just burned some bread.
Hey! But there are metallic sounds as she walks.
So this is where you were.
Another robot girl?
It's another girl with a mechanical body, just like the shadow and Miss President. She looks at the trembling president and calls out.
You must remember, that is the only way the future will open up to you.
The song
You
is
must
so
accept
good.
it, no matter how painful it may be. Your true name is 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris.
Labris. Weapon? What? What is going on here?
Of course.
Don't, 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 don't.
Ooh. Oh.
Hey!
Ooh. It's like a Mega Man menu now.
It really is.
Man, so
I
like,
have so many things to
yeah,
play.
go for it.
Do you want to say your thing first?
Yeah, I was like maybe it makes sense to do Chie and Yukiko, but it'd be the same story kind of again. So I almost think it'd be fun to see it from like a different perspective altogether and then come back to those after, so it's not so like the same thing again.
Yeah, do you want to do like
I don't know.
some of the P4 cast? Or like
Yeah, well,
or someone from P3?
Can you put up a quick vote and just a 0 for P4 and 1 for
Yeah.
P3? Because I don't know if anyone has an opinion on if that ruins it or not. And then once we do that, I can narrow down to which one we need to do.
Okay, so vote 0 for keep doing P4 cast. Vote 1 for do P3.
Maybe do kanji. I do have some
Oh, look
questions.
at that. Shadow Yosuke is trying to kill original Yosuke. Why ever would he do that? Don't worry, original Spot is fine, don't check.
Thanks, Shady Spot.
Man. Yeah.
Ultra charge!
It's called a reverse persona, Yosuke.
Godzilla.
Look it up.
It's a reverse persona. It's a better version of you.
Reversona.
Shadow Teddy, I am a teddy, the bear self.
Julian!
I'll never bear myself to you.
I'll never bear all for you. I only bear all for Senpai.
I'm barely hanging on. Kanji or Mitsuru, right? Kanji makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, I kind of want to see Kanji.
Akihiko looks so old.
Guess who turned drinking age today? I don't plan to actually
Congrats.
drink myself. You can
Myself.
just do it for me. I'm glad I could share my day of getting older with the NyanCave.
Aww.
P.S. Yosuke story has been hella good. Love my boy.
Yeah, that was awesome. I enjoyed that a lot. That was a ton of fun.
Like, you know what that means? It means it's happy birthday! You did it, Solomon!
You did it.
You did it!
And yeah, take drinking at your own pace.
Yeah.
Don't let people on the internet bully you into drinking.
Don't let people anywhere bully you into
That's
drinking.
It's a common thing, in my experience at least. Not so much anymore. I drink when I feel like it.
Took your advice and ordered a burger.
Oh.
It was delivered to the wrong apartment.
Oh.
Now approaching hangry status at max speed.
That's the worst. I'm sorry to hear that.
Hangry? My goodness.
Damn.
Hangry is so hard.
And then it gets real. It's actually kind of scary.
I know. I can border on very rude.
21 here. Damn. Kind of looks it.
Okay. Are you ready to
Cheers,
know?
Solomon. To another lap around the sun. Oh, that gin goes real good with mocha that I'm drinking.
The winner is to do P3.
P3!
It's 84 votes, or sorry, 82 votes for P4 and 95 votes for P3.
Wow, that was close. That was close. I think I'm gonna do Mitsuru. Step on me! Remember that?
I do.
We all remember that.
It's gonna make a comeback. I just know it. Late
I hope that's our
November
finisher.
in the year 2010. The darkness fell without warning. At the same time, the previously busy examination room fell so silent that the man's ears hurt.
Hey, what happened?
He called towards the back of the room, but no answer came. After working for public safety for over a decade, he thought little that could faze him anymore, but this was uncomfortably alien. It was no ordinary blackout. If it were, the faint light from the machines running on battery power such as cell phones would remain. But the silence disturbed him even more. He hadn't heard so much as a single cry.
Just the rumble of a single very special motorcycle that's needed for plot purposes.
When he looked around, he saw one spot in the darkness where something was giving off an eerie glow, as if painted in incandescent pigments. Once his eyes began to adjust to the darkness, he was faintly able to make out the area around that light. The shining spot was revealed as a small, strangely decorated box that the man had only just delivered to the forensics unit.
Forensics team! What the hell is...
Is this literally Pandora's box?
He called out, still squinting at the shadow of a person he could see at the window before him. But as the shape resolved, he saw that it was not a person's shadow at all.
Huh?
He had no words to describe it. At first glance, it seemed to be a coffin. Indeed, that is what it was shaped like. But he had never seen a coffin standing upright, tall as an adult, shining like a dark crystal. Yet that was clearly what the crystalline mass was, squatting in the spot where the window clerk normally stood. And upon closer examination, it wasn't the only one. At the desks in front of the evidence shelf, next to the reference computer, the objects towered everywhere as if they had taken the place of the humans.
Because they had.
What are these?
A chill ran down this man's spine. They're people, was the thought that it instinctively came to mind. Was this the reason he couldn't hear anyone else's voice? Was it because everyone but him was...
What's going on?
Once the fear had set in, it wasn't easy to shake off. His familiar office was starting to look like a grotesque netherworld. He felt quite sure that he had to get out. Quickly, he turned and grabbed the knob to the door through which he had just entered, but...
What the...
It didn't budge. It wasn't the door that was locked, preventing the knob from turning the latch. The knob was completely frozen in place.
Is anyone here? Hey, let me out!
Voice is familiar.
The man slammed his fist against the door, yelling in desperation. But the sensation he felt when his fist impacted the surface wasn't that of hitting a door. It felt completely at odds with what he saw, as if a picture of the door had been drawn onto a solid wall. It was then that the man noticed another light, similar in color to that emanating from the box, could be seen on part of his hand as he swung it forward.
Oh, it's Akihiko? Okay, yeah.
It was a ring. And suddenly he remembered.
Like a deeper Akihiko. Yeah.
When he brought in the small box, he found several bizarre ring-shaped objects within it. While handing it over to forensics, he suspected that they might be rings. To check the theory, he put one on.
Ring-shaped objects. They might be rings.
And now the ring was emitting the same eerie light as the box. Though he still had no idea what was going on, it was immediately apparent that it was directly related to the current situation. The man grabbed the ring with sweat-slicked fingers and tugged, ready to pull off his own finger if necessary. But just at that moment...
I wouldn't take that off right now.
The man can't help but gasp. He looked around, but could sense no one inside the room with him. Where had the voice come from?
I'll be there to rescue you shortly. Calm yourself and wait there.
Calm yourself!
When the man calmed himself, he realized that it wasn't a voice. The sensation was indescribable, but it was distinctly unlike hearing with one's ears.
Who's there?
Oh, pardon me. This is Mitsuru Kirijo. We met earlier.
Kirijo. He did know a Kirijo. It was she who brought the strange small box.
And is narrating this very dialogue.
Yeah. And that was all he knew. The Kirijos were a wicked family who used their fortune and influence as a shield, continuing to frustrate the police. Despite that, the man couldn't help but feel relief wash over him. Perhaps he might be able to be saved.
Well, I appreciate the help. Just hurry.
After getting the muttered words out, he sank to the floor, the door at his back. Mitsuru Kirijo. If he recalled correctly, she was the eldest daughter of the Kirijo's group's founding family. He noted that her voice had been far calmer than his, despite the situation they were both in. He sensed a measure of trustworthiness from her, and beautifulness, and a lot of talent and grace. And to think, it had been merely an hour ago that he was asking himself why such a young girl had been chosen as the head of the Kirijo group at all.
Now he regrets asking that question at all.
As if it wasn't obvious. The digital clock on the corner of the desk quietly announced the arrival of 10 in the morning. Normally, most of the staff would be out and about by now, but the entire police department was in turmoil today. It was only to be expected with a key figure from the Kirijo group visiting unusual business. That Kirijo group was a major trading firm, synonymous with Japan. They had links to all areas of business. Not a day could go by in the city without hearing their name. The clock that had struck 10 bore the logo of Kirijo Electronics, and the KJ was the carrier for the cell phone provided to every member of the force.
Would you say that the Kirijo, would you say that has a real world counterpart at all?
Sony. No.
I don't know about that.
I don't think Sony's a family.
I'm thinking there's one an electronics company. I'm trying to think of a Japanese electronics company that's really big.
A few days ago, this same Kirijo group had made a seemingly insane proposal. The document was hundreds of pages, but a brief summary would read, "We wish to collaborate with the police on an unofficial department for eliminating monsters."
Well, it does happen from time to time. Famous businessmen end up advocating cultish nonsense in pursuit of their ambitions.
Upon consideration, it was decided that the Kirijo group should be invited to give their pitch. And, of course, there was no intention of spending tax money on the outlandish proposal. The police's interest in humoring the Kirijo group lay elsewhere. The Kirijo group had offered an incentive whereby if the police agreed to the meeting, they would provide a detailed list of the Ergonomics Research Lab's artifacts, as well as actual samples. It was this that drove the officials' decision. For there had been dark rumors bandied about
Is it just Band-Aid, right? Band-Aid? Band-Aid? Band-Aid?
About the Kirijo group over the last 10 years.
I guess Band-Aid, yeah. Never heard
I've
that term.
never seen that term used ever.
Yeah.
Band-Aid?
While still a family-run business, some said that old man Koitsu Kirijo had delved into paranormal research and was performing inhumane experiments. The police collected enough evidence to test the rumor and had prepared many times to force an investigation.
Metal Gear.
To pass or discuss an idea or rumor in a casual or uninformed way.
Neat. But every time the investigation came to nothing due to the group exerting hidden pressure, frustrating those working on the case to no end. The investigation's prime target was the infamous Ergo Research, the Kirijo's Ergonomics Research Lab. Exposing the Kirijo's group's dark side had been a dream of public safety for 10 years now. And now, Kirijo seemed willing to hand over Ergo Research's tightly guarded secrets on a silver platter. No one knew the reason for this sudden about-face, but neither did anyone think about turning it down. They agreed to the summit not to hear out whatever proposal Kirijo was offering, but as a stepping stone towards unearthing their past crimes. Time passed, and the agreed-upon time in the afternoon came. The man was tasked with watching over and bringing in the artifacts from the Kirijo group.
I can do this part with the police, and then I assume it's probably going to switch over at some point if that's cool with you.
Yeah, if you want to. Give my voice a break.
Though he would not speak with the guest, the police's plan afforded him a major responsibility that gave him something like a leading role. Okay. It wasn't long before the Kirijo car arrived in the underground Porte Cochere. Maybe?
Why can't you just say car hold?
Yes, car hold. The staff there to receive the guest only shrugged at the long black limousine that would have turned heads on the main roads. One of the youngest recruits looked towards the man and asked a question.
What's with that car?
Yeah. But that was the least of the surprises in store. When the Kirijo group representative stepped out of the limousine, she was shown to be a beautiful young woman, no older than a university student. Not only that, but she had attendants dressed in what could only be described as maid outfits, or uniforms. All of them were young women, roughly her age. The scene mesmerized the various dignitaries present to greet her.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Oh my God!
I am Mitsuru Kirijo, representing the Kirijo group. It's nice to meet you.
Yes, you are. Wow. Whoa.
She's fabulous.
Her hair looks like a weapon or something.
I know. I was noticing, like it looks like it's almost flowing, and it's just caught midstream.
Her brisk greeting radiated poise. From there, she shook hands with the assembled dignitaries as a manner that showed she was no stranger to social gatherings.
She's the company rep? Really?
Wow. The young recruit, who was sneaking looks out of the corner of his eye, muttered in spite of himself.
The proposal said the rep who's coming today would be the leader of this new unit, but I thought it was supposed to be some hardcore armed response team, and she's leading it? Well, I guess it's better than some meathead.
I wonder if the maids are all robots or something.
Shut up and hold your position.
But in truth, the man felt the same way. Certainly, this monster extermination unit would never be incorporated. But even if it were, he was sure this wisp of a girl could never do such work. Eventually, the dignitaries entered the agency along with Miss Kirijo. All of them wore lopsided smiles due to the young beauty's unexpected appearance, but that would do for now. The dignitaries were only there to receive her. Their true objective was loaded in the truck parked behind the limousine. The documents and the artifacts of Ergo Research.
Right. Start bringing them in.
Roger, sir.
At the man's signal, his trained subordinates surrounded the Kirijo truck.
That word is like
Kirijo.
difficult for tongues to navigate.
Kirijo. They formed a line, smoothly passing boxes from man to man into the building. The articles were of various size, and even a few that came in oversized metallic containers for aerial transport. The Kirijo group had warned them not to handle these things carelessly until explanations were forthcoming. But in truth, the department was already prepared to begin a forensic investigation of the objects, or even send them to the lab.
Are you sure it's okay for us to open these? The instructions said not to.
Me, every time I get something from IKEA. Should I stick that in there? The instruction? Fuck it.
It won't be a real investigation if we let them hamstring our procedures. Besides, I can't think of anything they could send us that we couldn't handle.
Wow, some imagination you have.
Unless there's real monsters inside these things.
Yeah. The articles were brought in silence. The operation only lasted about 15 minutes. The man himself received the last item, about the size of a jewelry box, and checked the truck to make sure nothing went overlooked before closing it up. That done, he turned and walked quickly towards the forensics room. Try though he might to maintain his composure, he couldn't contain the excitement he felt. For 10 years, the darkness of the Kirijo group had been a frustrating legend, like mist between the department's fingers. Their chance to investigate and expose them was here at last. If even the slightest evidence matched the DNA of those who had gone missing, or the victims of the unsolved cases, victory would be theirs. The man tried to tamp down his exhilaration and took another look at the small box he held. There was no upper lid on the box. A pedestal-like protrusion at its center held a number of small circular trinkets. Ring-shaped objects, I suspect, might be rings. Their usage was completely unknown. What kind of research produced these? Just as the man was about to hand the box to the window clerk, he saw a wedding ring on the clerk's finger and came to a realization. Of course.
Are these rings?
These ring-shaped objects are rings. Man.
How shocking.
We're gonna have to call in an expert. Hello? Sonic the Hedgehog? Yeah. I got something for you to look at. You're not gonna like this.
We're not sure yet.
The man put on some protective latex gloves and tried one of the objects on. After looking at it from every angle, the color and shape seemed to be nothing but ordinary. If it was meant to be jewelry, it wasn't very attractive. The man couldn't picture scientists in lab coats slaving away in a lab to create rings like this. The moment that unlikely possibility came to mind, the man felt somewhat embarrassed by his ignorance of fashion and accessories. Thank you for addressing that. But as soon as he reached for the small box to put the ring back inside, darkness suddenly fell.
Please step away from the door.
Ring Fit Adventure. That's funny, the fifth wheel. The voice echoing in the man's mind brought him back to reality.
Thanks, movies.
He took a few steps away from the door as directed and stood ready. Step away from the door. The more he thought about it, the stranger the order seemed. How did she know he was so close to the door when she wasn't even in the room? Suddenly, a chill filled the area. In mere seconds, the entire door was coated in white.
Where'd this ice come from?
It had frosted over. The man couldn't believe his eyes, but the evidence was there in front of him. He could then hear a slight knocking sound, followed by a crack forming in the center.
Bless you.
The door buckled under its own weight and crumbled with a sound that was like building blocks being pushed over. Standing just past it was the Kirijo woman. She walked over to the man with exquisite nonchalance.
That's so good.
I love exquisite nonchalance.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, it just sounds
exquisite.
It sounds like it's so exquisite and nonchalant, right?
At her side was one of the maids she brought.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
We did give you fair warning, but it seems to have gone unheeded.
The man looked towards the ring shining on his finger.
This happened because we touched that box? What is this thing?
That ring gives its bearer an unstable form of pseudo-potential and allows anyone to experience the Dark Hour.
The Dark Hour?
The box itself seems to be a failed recreation of the Dark Hour. The effect radius is small, and it malfunctions when improperly handled.
The Dark Hour. He remembered that phrase coming up in the documents the Kirijo group had sent. If he recalled correctly, it was defined as a hidden time unable to be experienced by normal people, where everything stood still. According to the documents, it seems to have occurred every night at midnight for about 10 years until spring 2011, as if forcing its way into normal time. Until now, it seemed like pure fantasy. But could this silent darkness be the very same thing?
You're saying those stories in that document, that occult-sounding stuff was actually for real?
For real? At that moment, a voice suddenly echoed from beyond the hallway past the broken door.
Who's there?
The man reflexively called out in alarm, realizing that the fear had not yet died down. What emerged from the darkness was the young recruit who had greeted the guests earlier and had been helping with bringing in the artifacts. The young man was staggering as if severely drunk.
Chief! Hey, are you all right?
The man began to rush to his side, but the Kirijo woman silently stopped him. She stood between the two, as if protecting the man.
He's my...
Before he could finish, a surprising change overtook the recruit.
Don't eat the tuna salad.
Wait. The buffet shouldn't be open.
Yeah.
The recruit fell to the ground with an agonized scream. A black tar-like substance began flowing from his every orifice. Wow. That is,
How much did you eat?
That is something, like, obviously we've seen it happen before, but when you describe it with words, it sounds so much worse.
Right? Words make things like your imagination.
Orifice.
Right? Imagination's very powerful.
What?
The ooze spread unnaturally across the ground and cohered into a glob. It rose up like a beast raising its head, and what looked like claws began to form. Its appearance showed clear signs that it possessed some malevolent will. The man thought again about the Kirijo group's initial proposal. We wish to collaborate with the police on an unofficial department for eliminating monsters. Without a doubt, this is what they were referring to. That name came up again and again was Shadows.
A shadow.
That it is. It's a monster that dwells in every person's heart. They usually can't manifest themselves this way, but it's quite common to see it happen during the Dark Hour.
So the research to make this happen artificially, that's what Kirijo has been experimenting with.
That did seem to be the extent of it. At the start.
At the start, the man couldn't prevent himself from shuddering to imagine the implications of her statement. Oh, hi! With the second roar, the half-liquefied shadow suddenly took the form of some fell beast. But where the face should have been was nothing but a mask, giving it the bizarre appearance of two creatures stitched together. The young woman, for her part, seemed to be not the least perturbed.
Kikuno, my things, please.
My things. The maid stooped to reach something. The man wasn't sure where she had been carrying it, but she placed a sword in her master's hand. The blade was specially shaped, similar in design to a fencing saber.
Going to fight it?
Stay back. This will all be over soon.
In that moment, as if understanding their conversation, the shadow squared itself and leapt towards the young woman. Its speed matched its beastly appearance. In the darkness of the room, the man found it difficult simply keeping his eye on it. The young woman did not move. Her sword remained lowered in the face of the shadow's advance. Of course, thought the man. An amateur like her could never react in time. However...
Artemisia!
Ooh. At a word from the young woman, some unseen force slammed the shadow against a wall. The man momentarily doubted his own eyes, for it hadn't been the woman who repelled the monster, but a silhouette that suddenly appeared behind her. It looked as though the being enveloped in...
Sublime light.
Okay, yeah. It looked as though the being enveloped in sublime light, contrasting the shadow's dark glow, was a woman wearing a majestic dress. Its silhouette held up a hand towards the crouching shadow. Once again, The man felt freezing air fill the room, and with that, the shadow stopped moving. Frost crystallized all over it, turning into an ice sculpture within seconds. Only then did the young woman swing her sword in her hand for the first time.
Huh.
A white gleam arced through the air. Upon impact, the frozen enemy shattered like it had been crystallized sugar, rather than ice. The victory was so one-sided that the men hesitated to call it a battle.
Are you all right?
No. Well, yes, but I have to arrest you for a murder.
Yeah, you just killed that guy.
The young woman turned towards the man. The sound of her boots hitting the floor gave him the jarring realization that she hadn't moved a single step during the fray. Seeing that he was at a loss for words, she gave him a gentle smile. It was all too much for the man. He actually felt relieved to be protected by this small woman. Yeah, obviously. Leave her alone.
This small, feeble woman
protected me. Oh no.
Like,
Can't believe Mitsuru just ended this whole man's career.
I know. How is that masculinity holding up?
Real masculinity would be like, damn.
Yeah, right. How's that
cool.
toxic masculinity holding up?
She had been through countless battles, much like the one he just witnessed.
Your fallen employee's life is in no danger, but he'll be very weak. Make sure he gets to a hospital.
No, I should at least handle that.
The thing
It is
is,
a public security matter.
he's like, this small, woman, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, you know, if you're that toxic masculinity, you put on a ring, friend. You put on a ring. So don't even be pretending like you ain't a little bit
married
curious.
to the dark hour. You were raised in the darkness. I married it.
I married it.
That's right. That's right. So did he just kind of I banged your mom to Bane, basically?
Wow.
I was born in the darkness. Sorry. Hold on.
Fragile masculinity. Thank you, William.
Fragile. That's it. Fragile.
That's the word I was looking for.
I was born in the darkness, raised by it. Yeah. Well, I married it. What? No. Mama Darkness. That's right. Who's your daddy? Oh no. This isn't right. I'm going to destroy Gotham now. With a nod, the young woman approached the small box and manipulated it in a way he couldn't quite catch. The eerie, yellow-green light began to fade. Moments later, the silence and darkness faded. The world had been restored. The man felt his body become suddenly lighter, causing him to breathe a sigh of relief. He hadn't realized until the pressure was gone that the air had been suffocating as if he'd been underwater. There was a stir of movement in the room. The forensics team and assistants looked at the man and young woman, perplexed. The man took a quick look around. Fragments of the shattered door were strewn about. A young public security worker was lying unconscious nearby, and their Kirijo guest, my tongue is just a little
That's
numb
Kirijo's
today.
hard to say, man.
Kirijo.
Yeah,
Kirijo.
I get that. Kirijo. It's whilst you're reading English in a sentence,
yeah,
it's,
you have to
it's not.
flip.
It's not good.
There's a phonetic position and then a regular. If you're ready on your own, it's like Kirijo. But there, Kirijo. To go from there and then Kirijo is difficult. Guest, who had entered without anyone noticing, held in her hand a drawn sword.
I'd be shocked too if I were them.
It occurred to him that if normal people couldn't sense the dark hour, the sudden change in circumstances may have seemed to them like some sort of magic trick.
Excuse me, but this place is off limits to all unauthorized personnel.
They're illusions.
Hey, what's going on here?
The forensic staff looked at the man helplessly.
It's all right. We had a little emergency. That aside, halt all examination of the relics they brought in. We'll wait for further instructions from the Kirijo group.
Yeah, they're just some lessons you have to experience, apparently. You know, no amount of warnings will save you from whatever that was.
Huh? But you said...
If there are any boxes that are closed, don't force them open. Not if you don't want to come face to face with monsters.
Leaving the frowning forensics team behind him, the man quickly went to the hallway with the Kirijo woman.
I have to thank you for your help. And about the conference, I'll join in as well. It's been arranged so nothing you say would get through to the higher-ups.
If the young woman was surprised at what amounted to a confession of betrayal, she didn't show it.
Are you saying you will reconsider your plans?
I can't overlook anything as serious as this. I wouldn't be doing my job as public security if I did. But make no mistake, the things I saw today are proof of the sins the Kirijo group has committed. They can't be punished under the law, but now that they're known, atonement will be made in some shape or form.
Indeed. I never intended anything less.
You really put one over on us this time. Oh, there's no need to be coy. What happened today was no accident, was it? We'd never have believed the reports unless we saw it in person. That's why such a dangerous box had no lid. Am I wrong?
There was no lid. That's not possible. That box was classified as risk level 3. It should have been securely fastened.
Intrigue.
The young woman fell silent, then gasped, and gave the maid, walking silently beside her, a look.
Kikuno.
The maid continued without the slightest sign of remorse and left her master behind. Both the man and the young woman sighed at once.
Us guys in public security have a reputation for being tough. But it seems like you guys are no slouches yourselves.
They're tough guys.
We're tough. We're tough, manly men.
Guys in
we're
public
tough
security.
Men. Yeah, all of us are men in security because we're men.
I don't know how you can say that with like a straight face.
Right?
Here at the NyanCave, we have a reputation for being tough.
We have a reputation for being tough and reading good.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's a NyanCave.
Known for. NyanCave.
They're tough and they read good.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. The summit that was meant to be fuck. A perfunctory? That's the only way I can really. I've never.
Perfunctory, yeah.
Why is it when Mitsuru's around all the difficult words show up? Perfunctory.
Just say a swear after you read good, and then people won't like.
Perfunctory.
Yeah. Oh wow. Get bent. Get bent, everybody. We're tough guys. We read good.
Yeah. So I assume it means like something that was decided before it even began, kind of thing.
The summit that was meant to be a perfunctory refusal took an unexpected turn.
Promises were made to continue the talks.
I'm just trying to think of the context of that. An action or gesture carried out with minimum of effort or reflection. Yeah. Oh, a thoughtless thing.
6 months passed. After many opportunities to show the actual samples to the dignitaries were set up, the proposed special unit was established in mostly the form Kirijo requested. The Security Department Shadow Response Unit. It was the inauguration of a special unit that would, in time, be nicknamed the Shadow Operatives.
Shadow Operatives.
Metal Gear. First mission, we're going to Shadow Moses, where all the shadows are. And the boss, Shadow Moses.
Shadow Moses. What is he part?
Oh.
You from your life?
The light? I don't know.
Oh.
Metal Gear, I guess.
Metal Gear.
Parts Metal Gear.
Wow.
Okay, that definitely looks like Junpei over the right. Who's that on the left though with the hair?
In the middle is Mitsuru.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a given.
I love this. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm hyped up.
I'm pretty sure that's Junpei. I think on the left might be Fuka. I think behind Mitsuru on the left, like
on her left or the screen left?
The screen left.
Okay.
I think that's Akihiko.
Okay.
But to the left of Akihiko,
I think that's Yukari behind her left sleeve on the right of her.
Oh, yes, on the right of the screen. I think that's Yukari as well. I think it's Yukari, Junpei. I don't know.
Oh, some of these are P2 characters? Oh, we wouldn't recognize them then,
Well, yeah, then we would have no idea, but cool. Man, who is famous for wearing their jacket like that? It's like a fighting game character. You know, they sit like this and they have the jacket on the shoulder. Oh, wait a second. Well, because I think Fight Club Mako also kind of referenced it as well. Yeah. Anyways, Mitsuru has big Fight Club Mako energy.
She really does.
Whatever that. Oh, Kamina as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Row, fight the Shadow Ops.
Yeah. I'm quite fond of the name. Oh, sorry. Actually, I think it's you now.
Not that I normally pay much heed to these things, but in this case, I admit to being pleased. It started as sarcasm on the part of the higher-ranked personnel from the police. It could be taken to mean those who deal with shadows, but the real meaning is those who operate in the shadows. Not only is the unit unofficial, we have the difficult to credit job of exterminating monsters. Mostly, I suspect it was a dig at the group that disturbed the expected peaceful years before the older personnel's retirement. But Shadow Operative could also mean one who does an indispensable, albeit unrewarded job for society. It's a name truly befitting of this organization's goals. Also, stock lens flare.
Yeah.
We're approaching the first anniversary of the Shadow Operative's establishment. Though we're still at the level of basic investigation and laying the groundwork, it seems a full-scale case has arisen.
Fighting is not our first option, but I'd be more reassured with you there. We have a general idea of where it was taken, the Inaba area, where there were reports of suspected shadow activity last year.
Good as it... Oh, sorry.
Good as it is to hear from an old, reliable friend, I limit the call to a quick exchange of information.
I'll send you the precise location later. Sorry to call when you just returned from a trip, but I'm relying on your assistance.
I close my cell and turn towards my colleague.
He's only just returned and he's going directly to the location from the airport. Akihiko never changes.
The man I was on the phone with just now was Akihiko Sanada. He's one of our non-permanent staff. Akihiko is an excellent persona user, but beyond that, he's a skilled boxer. He's a friend of mine from high school who fought the shadows alongside me. I admire his strict determination and never neglect his training. But the extreme lengths he goes to can be rather inconvenient.
It's a little concerning that he didn't get any voice lines in that moment, but it's also a little weird because they had his voice actor here for those lines, so it's like, why wouldn't they?
Right? I'm actually going to play some things because I thought there was going to be a pause, but it's just story.
Oop. Sorry about the delay there.
Oh.
You want me to hit it? Oh, there it goes.
I have the opposite problem. My friend doesn't like me drinking. Got an earful once cause I drank too much. We still good. Been sober since Corona started, lol.
Oh, yeah. I think it's been a change in lifestyle for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. Just gotta do better. And sometimes it's good to, have friends like that, so make sure to listen to them sometimes.
Yeah.
Or at least pretend to.
It's usually out of a place of love if they're like, I think you have a problem.
It's not because I hate you. It's because, yeah. But it sounds like you're doing good, so thanks. Yeah.
Thank you, Alan.
Nothing can happen.
Just here to remind you all that I want Mitsuru to step on me.
Hey, get in line.
Yeah, chat would like to talk to you about that.
I was expecting a Marin Karen, but Bufadine's okay, I guess.
Whirlwind. Thank you.
Charming the pants off of everybody.
Yeah.
Me, excuse me. You may address her as Queen or Your Majesty, or suffer the same fate as a shadow. Her stepping on you would be an honor.
Shadow Slowpoke. Thank you.
The debate of some of the shadow operative silhouettes back in the day were legendary, lol.
Oh yeah? That's awesome. I can imagine that. Yeah, we'll have to see some of the cutouts.
Thank you, Boohoo. I'm excited. I'm excited to see who's in there.
I admire his strict determination. Whoop, oh, we already read that. After entering college, he accepted my invitation to be one of the founding shadow operatives, but it was his actions afterward that went above and beyond. Sure, I'll join, but if I'm going to use my strength professionally, I want to get my skills to a level that I'm happy with first. Thus began his training expedition. He's not only wandering the country, he's traveling the entire world, punching everyone.
He probably got mixed up in Mortal Kombat or something accidentally. That would be the best lore incorporated DLC character in a fighting game. This happened, and then they just kind of glaze over it, but then he's in Tekken, and it's this is my training journey.
Yeah, Fight Quest. Akihiko for Smash.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
I can't decide whether to be dumbfounded or impressed by his dedication to training. All of this is to say that he only has just returned to Japan to take part in this operation. I give a wry smile and lean back in my chair. Seeing me relax, the girl watching nearby smiles.
Fuka. Damn it.
Igus, known for her blonde hair and piercing blue eyes, and the fact that she's a full-on robot.
No.
And the fact that she's a full-on robot with a heart. She's a sweet girl on the outside, but she has what it takes to be an important member of our squad.
Will we be able to find Labris? My sister.
You know what this is, chat.
Wib.
No, it's ribs.
Oh.
Ribs.
Rib.
Robots in business suits.
That sounds like a butt crack Fungwar album.
Just about robots in business suits.
Robots in business suits. Robots in business suits. Robots in business suits. Doing robot pursuits.
I love ribs. I do love ribs. It's a good look for her, though.
When I look over at Igus, her eyes are cast downward with a worried expression.
Will we be able to save her? Isn't that what you really want to ask?
She must have known once I called Akihiko in as backup. There is a possibility that we will have to fight Labris, and knowing that, it's not a great leap to imagine that in the worst case she may have to be destroyed. And it's true, alas. If all else fails and our safety is at risk with no other way to stop her, that option is on the table. Still.
Don't worry. As I mentioned to Akihiko, fighting Labris is not our priority.
I really like how they have the whole map of Inaba over on the right there.
Oh, dang. I'm like, that's the Windows wallpaper.
Yeah, that too. I know. Yeah, like someone straight up took a screenshot of their desktop.
Yeah.
I wish it was the green rolling hill, though.
Oh, yeah. Windows
I like
XP
that
background.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason I formed the Shadow Operative team is to save lives. We will find her, whatever it takes, and bring her back. We can do this.
One of my favorite, like, little joke wallpapers that I had when I was working in an office was the normal, like, Windows XP, like, green rolling plane wallpaper. But then it had Megamine, like, passed out on the floor and, like, and a distant explosion over the hill.
Yeah.
It was really great.
That was really
Yes. I'm sorry to be so pessimistic.
Those feelings you have for Labris, you should tell her when you see her.
Oh.
Interesting.
Concept art there. We're going to give her a braid that went halfway down her back. That'd be really cool.
Right?
I will.
The monitor is showing certain data that is under multiple redundant encryptions. Kirijo Ergonomics Research Lab confidential matters. There is, in fact, a reason I'm reviewing these materials that are normally securely concealed. For 2 days ago, on May 1st, I was unexpectedly dragged into a serious incident. The passenger plane I was taking to Kagoshima was hijacked, like in the news that was in the previous ones, when there hasn't been a domestic hijacking for 10 years. The top brass of the police, afraid to make any mistakes, sent in the shadow operatives. The case itself was resolved quickly, and all the culprits were arrested. Let me get some water.
You gonna need some water? Or you're just gonna drink some water where you are? Oh,
I was just drinking some water.
Yeah, that's funny. It's like, that's where things get kind of like weird. I don't know. I guess it's not totally uncommon where it's like, man, remember that special unit we set up to do a very specific task, such as dealing with monsters? I really don't want to deal with this airplane thing. Let's just send them instead, because that's crazy. You know?
Yeah.
That's fine.
None of the passengers were harmed either. But the hijackers' true motive wasn't terrorism or political demands. As one would expect.
As one would expect,
sorry. I was surprised to find that they were really after my cargo.
Whenever they put commas at the end of like a line, it's like, oh, just let me get a view of the whole thing.
It was a sealed box from the Ergonomics Research Lab that we were transporting to Yakushima in that flight. No one thought it was that risky hijack. No one thought that the risky hijacking could have been in pursuit of just the cargo, and as a result, one of the objects was stolen. It was me, as I went to the bathroom. Take it away, Clay.
Oh. The arrested suspects are all in police custody, but none of them have any memory of carrying out the crime. Someone was pulling their strings, very probably using uncommon methods. Considering that Puppet Master was targeting shadow-related cargo, I doubt they'll be easy to deal with. As for what was stolen, Aegis mentioned its name a moment ago. The 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris, is an older model from 2 generations ago. Since shadow-related ergo research documents were lost in an accident, we know little about Labris. She is an android, most likely a female version, just like Aegis. But instead of a weapons loadout, she seems to have been fitted with some kind of experimental equipment. That's all we know. Still, thanks to our collaborators' quick wit, the escaping vehicle was traced with the N system. It wasn't easy, but we managed to pinpoint its location. It was headed for the city of Inaba, where there may have been shadow activity last year. Once the preparations to depart are complete, I don't know if I said that right. I'll head there myself. My mind wanders a bit. Lobster. Streblo. Though I was unaware of them, the shadow of the sins committed in the Kirijo name is still so painful, 10 years on, that I sometimes want to avert my eyes. But now is not the time to be bound by the past. Now is the time to act. I suddenly notice that Aegis has been staring at me worriedly. I give her a smile and stand up decisively. It's like almost the Velvet Room, but not velvet. We're pulling up to Yaso Inaba, the central town of Inaba. Though it's the central town, the main street seems nearly deserted. There's virtually no activity to be seen through the car windows. It was confirmed that the vehicle transporting Labris was abandoned here. Our first move would be to confirm the situation. Or so I thought.
I attempt to ignore the rude stares of the people trying to get look inside the car, focusing instead on the scent of my tea. People keep crowding around when we park. We've had to move it a number of times already. We didn't get a moment's peace until the car had reached the junkyard on the outskirts of town. As I try to keep from sighing, Aika speaks up from her seat in front of me.
Mitsuru-san, our activities are supposed to be undercover, correct?
Yes.
For undercover missions, it will be necessary to keep all personnel and vehicles from being noticed.
Right.
Mitsuru-san, may I say something that I've been meaning to say for a while now?
No.
Understood.
No, understood.
Like, I didn't mean to go so fast by that, but it works.
It works so good.
Aikis's poker face is a perfect blank, though I understand what she's getting at. I've actually wanted to say something along those lines to those around me for a while. Still, it would be galling to hear it from someone else just now.
To give us a car with enough space.
Our contact has arrived.
The man approaching us is someone whose cooperation I specifically requested.
Who could it be?
His name is Detective Kurosawa. Before I can welcome him, Aika speaks up.
Oh my, this was not our designated meeting area, yet he has discovered us.
Impressive powers of detection.
You want to know how I did it?
Whoa! Oh, the mall dude that sold us weapons!
Oh, shit! He got a promotion.
Good job. Good for him!
Oh, yeah, fantastic work. The only thing that's a little weird is, well, you brought 100 times more money into the station than any member has ever brought in, but it appears to all be the illicit selling of weapons to minors. We like money, so we're going to overlook that, and you're promoted, but we're never going to speak about that again. Goodbye.
Lately, it feels that whenever Aigis wants to voice her opinion to me, she intentionally puts on the robot act. They mentioned this at the lab.
The robot act.
Just, beep boop, I'm a robot. It doesn't matter what I think, bitch.
Don't give me that.
Yeah.
You're only a robot when it's convenient to
Beep
you.
boop! I don't understand emotion! Beep boop! That if Igus still speaks in that stiff, formal manner, either she's getting too human and is developing habits, or she's doing it on purpose.
Wow, that's a conundrum.
Honestly.
We appreciate your cooperation, Detective Kurosawa.
Long time no see, miss. And Igus, was it?
Yeah, it's so funny. Oh, she's acting like a robot. She's becoming so human. Full circle.
She's so good at being a human that she's being a robot right now.
Indeed. It has been a while.
Detective Kurosawa was an officer at a police box near the school we attended 3 years ago. He was shunned for cooperating with us and busted back down to officer.
Well,
I just
that's
never
good.
busted back down is a term I've never heard before. But now that the shadow operatives are officially recognized, he's in their good graces again. A man who can be trusted beyond the confines of his station to solve a case, even going so far as to bend the rules. He's a rare breed. Detective Kurosawa's expression is softened while he makes small talk with Igus. Which makes me realize that this may be the first time he's seen Igus in her combat form.
Man,
He's like, so that's where all those robot legs were going.
Ugh.
Ah!
You have no idea how hard those were to find. Man, obviously it's all a bit much. It's so interesting seeing the two entries in the series so connected like this. Like, obviously they're all P3 right now, but they're in like the P4 location basically. I was just thinking how neat it would be for Detective Kurosawa to be involved in EY's story, for instance, in P5.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he just feels like he would fit that whole story. Not that we're going to talk about it too much because spoilers and such, but
But you can catch that story once we're done P4 Arena.
ooh.
I shouldn't make you stand while we talk. Please, get in.
Sorry. I haven't seen you in a while, so I had a lot to say.
He must understand that we are trying to go incognito. Though it's kind of him not to point out that our vehicle and attire are completely unsuited to that goal as he enters the limousine. He sits and does not even wait until the doors are closed before getting to the point.
Well, maybe you should wait till the doors are closed so no one else can hear.
I found out quite a bit regarding the case you had me look into. First, I reviewed the report on the incidents from last year. One of the suspects mentioned the word persona.
So what went on here last year?
It's probably related, but I wasn't done there. Parts of this guy's testimony were even more outlandish. If you can take what's in the record at face value, it seems persona users can enter TVs within the Inaba region.
Enter TVs? What does that mean?
Just what it sounds like. You physically stick your body into the screen and go inside. He claimed there was another world in the TV, and dropping people inside it was the method behind last year's murders.
This all sounds rather absurd. I'm surprised it was included in the police report.
I got in touch with the detective in charge at the time and said the same thing. Apparently, the report was filed by a young partner of his at the time. He'd entertained the wildest testimonies like this one.
He sounds like quite the oddball.
If this was what really went on, the police would have had no chance cracking it. But that Detective Dojima is one shrewd guy. Even with all the supernatural hocus-pocus surrounding the case, he caught the culprit.
Well, you know, you had a little help, but what?
Yeah. What I asked of him was to collect information about the serial murders that had occurred in Inaba last year. The shadow operatives aren't public knowledge, so I thought the local police would be more willing to speak with him, but the results surpassed my expectations. Though it is slightly frustrating to already run up against something I'm powerless to achieve myself.
That's all I have for you right now. I should be going. I doubt either of us has time to reminisce over the old days.
You only ever sold us weapons and armor, right?
It's funny, though. I thought the fighting was over, but you guys surprise me every time I see you.
Thank you very much, Officer Kurosawa. Why don't we at least see you off?
That is Detective Kurosawa to you?
Oh, that's all right. I've got my own car. I doubt my department would appreciate your tastes.
Oh!
If I ever showed up for work in something like this, I'd be the talk of the force until the day I retired.
Yep. Detective Kurosawa
Detective Kurosawa jokes with us before exiting the limousine, waving casually back at us. I had nothing to say to that as I watched him leave, rotating his shoulders to work out some of the kinks. Aigis, though, felt the need to comment.
Mitsuru-san, this could be bad. Our sense of social aptitude is in question.
Says the robot.
Can't deny that.
What should we do now?
It sounds like Adachi.
Yes. First, we'll need to test the claim that Persona users can enter TVs.
We are at a junkyard after all, and I can see a number of consumer electronics that have been discarded illegally. Aigis looks around and points at a certain pile that as she gets out of the car.
There is a discarded TV over there. If the environment does not matter, we can use it to test the phenomenon.
It appears that our social aptitude is being called into question. Let us hurl ourselves into that TV over there.
Yeah.
Wait, Aigis.
Don't worry. I'm just going to touch it.
That's not what I was worried about. Aigis isn't wearing anything like a disguise and... No, I'm overthinking this. We've already attracted enough attention.
Someone just walking by in the junkyard just scoops Aigis up like, oh, finders keepers.
Yeah. I found her in the junkyard. She's mine.
I am a living, breathing being.
Maybe.
Even if we leave now without doing anything, our pictures could still end up on the internet. Let them gossip about the strange people in funny clothes. It'll become some urban legend.
Oh my god. I wonder if this is mentioned later.
My mind is made up. I step outside wearing my special equipment. Once Aigis sees that I followed her, she gives a small nod and stretches out her hand towards the screen.
Amazing!
Her hand, it's inside the TV screen. But the screen itself seems undamaged. I don't know what to make of this.
Because she's a robot and she's putting her hand in the TV. If the TV was alive, would it go like, just a little,
yeah. Aigis' hand is swallowed up to her wrist, as if she put it into a bucket of water.
Interesting. It's exactly as the police report said. What's it like inside? Do you feel anything?
Not particularly. No. Wait a moment. It's the same as mine. It's hard to say definitively since this is my first encounter with it, but I believe this reading is from a personality module.
Does that mean our retrieval target is inside the TV?
Huh. Sounds like fun.
Oh! That voice from above. It sounds very familiar.
Ah!
But all I see in the direction from where it came is a man in an outlandish red cape.
Oh my god, yes!
I hesitate for a moment.
Could it be?
Is that Akihiko?
The man leaps from the stacked tower of TVs like an acrobat.
You didn't show up at the rendezvous point, so I went looking and found you here.
Hi.
This whole TV thing is pretty interesting.
What have you been doing? He is a Street Fighter character. Oh my god.
I don't know, but I could give him one more thing.
In spite of myself, I bury my face in my palm.
Wait, nope, that's his chest.
Oops.
Akihiko,
I slipped.
what on earth are you wearing? Just what were you doing overseas?
What isn't he wearing?
Didn't I tell you that I was on a training expedition?
Yeah, he met a funny guy. His name is Junketsu. Went through a whole arc of, bearing your shame or something. I don't know. It was wild. Anyways, I'm here.
Don't tell me you came here from the airport like that. Does the concept of keeping a low profile mean nothing to you?
Says the lady in a full-blown, white fur jacket and giant limousine.
Do you know what low concept means? I don't. Let's figure it out together.
Mitsuru-san, I believe we have lost the right to complain about that.
Thank you.
That's it. I'm never mentioning the subject of our appearance again.
I love the look she has while she thinks this, like,
Anyway, we can go inside from that TV, right? What are we waiting for?
Still the same Akihiko. We don't know the situation inside yet, and we'll need a secure means of getting out.
That sounds like future Akihiko problems. Where we're going, we don't need thinking.
So what? If we want to get this Labrys back, someone has to go inside, right?
I mean, yeah.
Well, that's...
Our target hijacked a plane to throw her into a TV in this town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we sit on our hands, it's possible we'll be put in serious danger.
Akihiko's right. That's exactly why we've been trying to act as quickly as possible since this case began.
We're different from how we used to be. We made the choice to fight shadows as professionals. That's why I traveled around the world and trained harder than ever. And now that something's actually come up, you're hesitating? We agreed to do this. I'm ready to stake my life on the mission.
Recklessly unafraid to state his honest opinion. Classic Akihiko. He must understand that is his role. Certainly, there are times when I need such opinions. And since it's been a while since he went abroad, I think I can understand his current mindset.
All right. Wait right here. I need to go make a phone call first.
Okay, but make it quick.
He doesn't have to tell me twice. I take out my phone and bring up the contact list. A world inside a TV. I don't know what it might be like in there, but I do know someone that could help us. I was originally going to ask their help after Labrys was secured, but perhaps the time has come.
Ooh, I know who she's calling. Foo?
Now, I've taken all possible precautions. The rest is a test of our resolve.
Foo?
Ooh, cool.
Nanako, you're right. She's calling Nanako. She needs veggies.
The other members will wait here in the car.
Yeah. If we all barge in and something happens, we'll be devastated.
Now that you mention it, at least one of us should be staying behind as well.
I am not staying.
Fair.
Us three will be plenty. We'll end this in a flash. No problem.
God, he is so cool.
The same as always. Although, we have no idea what might be waiting for us on the other side. Don't get careless.
Right.
This situation, it brings back memories.
God, this is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Ready!
What? Yeah, it's just, I don't know, to be able to see them like years later is just super duper cool.
I love that.
Especially involved with the cast of P4.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to know who I think she called?
Fuka?
Why enter the TV?
Oh!
DP!
What's going on?
No way. DP's just here on her own.
You think DP's just on her own?
I think DP's here on her own.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean...
I'm going to play some things while we're in.
Yeah, for sure.
This. Oh, wow. I got behind.
What I want to know is, what were the shadow operatives doing during the entirety of P5, anyway?
Gestrid! That's a good question.
They were on vacation.
They were meaning to go to Los Angeles and they stopped in Hawaii.
Or they were overseas dealing with P6.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. I forgot that we're coming back here.
My P4A vanilla mains were Chi and Mitsuru, until new characters came out in ULTIMAX. Have fun with Ice Queen Smile.
Oh,
Junpei.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you.
It is I Genji Beetle the secret contact. I require healing.
Genji Beetle! Oh, it was you who was called. That makes sense.
Leaves. It's been so long.
Since
Did
Genji
you
Beetle.
really need healing?
I don't know.
Man, I forgot about Beatles. That was
My
fun.
very favorite thing about P4A/P4O is the outfits of the older P3 cast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're great.
It's what I'm most excited to see for a hypothetical P5A.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played P5S or really know anything about P5S, and I don't want to know. It's a rhetorical question, but I'm wondering if P5S took the place of a P5A.
Oh,
Like if they do like
did
kind of like one out there spin-off each kind of generation, right?
Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah, Yumimura says P5A is P5S. That's what I was thinking. I know you typed that before I said it was rhetorical, but There it is. That's what I would kind of assume based on the structure of how these games are released. But yeah.
Well, look at that, you're doing something P4 related again on my birthday.
Hey,
One
happy
more
birthday.
time and it's a hat trick anyway. Love you guys as always.
Well, I'll try.
Happy birthday, Straw Hat!
Would you count PQ as P4 related? Because that might be, yeah. That might, what's the word? That might happen around then. Yeah, Zero says they're going to milk P5 as much as they can, I bet. Well, I would assume so, because I mean, if they had this many re-releases for like P4 and P3 and P5R was their greatest selling game of all time or something, I might be slightly off on that. Congratulations to them, by the way. It's awesome to, you know, see a series get a little more love like that. I assume they would. I mean, there's no reason not to, right? In my opinion. And I'm happy to play it because it's a lot of fun. But yeah.
Nanako's cell phone is actually powered by Kirio.
Kirio!
Curios! Gestrid, thank you.
2 halves. In P4, Dojima calls her at one point and gets a recording which begins with, "This is the Kilojoules Customer Service Center."
Gestrid, thank you.
That's a word I haven't heard since like high school.
Right?
Nyani, hold me. My gaze flatlining. It'll be a wonderful death, but still.
Shady Spot, I'm there with you. Why is he so
Kirio.
scruffy? He's so scruffy.
Yeah, kilojoules. It's a measure of energy, I believe.
Some Persona characters tend to suffer from a nasty case of flanderization in spin-offs. Akihiko is a particularly egregious example.
Whirlwind! I don't know what that means.
I know a little bit of context. I couldn't explain it well though.
Flanderization is the act of taking a single, often minor action or trait of a character within a work and exaggerating it more and more over time until it completely consumes the character. Most always, this trait action becomes completely outlandish and becomes their defining characteristic. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that.
Persona! So a billionaire, a Street Fighter character, and a toast to walk into a bar.
Raiga.
It's a TV.
One more.
End joke.
Hold on.
Love how Aki and Mitsuru are matching fashion disasters.
They're like opposite fashion disasters.
She's wearing all the coat and he's wearing
none of it.
Is this
such a cool
inside the TV?
I remember being enveloped in a white light, but what came afterwards is unclear. Is this the world inside the TV? Oddly enough, the sight before me seems to be the main gate of a school. The name engraved on the entrance plate
Yasagami
is...
High School. I do recall that name from our map of Inaba. An existing high school has been completely recreated inside the TV?
I then came to a realization. I've encountered something much like this before. It doesn't appear to be much different from reality as far as appearances, but it has that same distinctive sticky atmosphere. The labyrinth Tartarus that was our battleground 3 years ago. It bears a lot of similarity to this place.
Wait, where are the others? Akihiko! I guess!
Being separated won't do anything to further our mission. Perhaps I can use my communication power to get in touch with them.
I can't reach them through my persona either. This place is highly unusual.
It's still barely functioning, but the noise here is severe. I need to understand this world a little better and find a quiet place to concentrate. As I check my surroundings again for any enemies, I hear the sound of footsteps. I tense, making myself ready for anything. But when I turn around, a uniformed girl stops, looking at me in bewilderment. I didn't expect to meet someone else in here, let alone a seemingly ordinary schoolgirl like this.
I just realized... Ah, never mind.
Are you looking at big boobs, child?
No.
Big boobs.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't think we've seen the jacket open at all. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Damn it. Would you say that they're like they fill the same, like, because like I don't know, with the Persona cast there was always like those roles that get filled where it's like, you know, the main character, the goofy best friend, you know, and the super serial kind of girl. Would you say that Mitsuru and Yukiko kind of fill that same role?
One's hot and one's cold, one's yes and one's no, one's in and one's like actually one owns an inn. And one, could her age and outfit belie a connection to the theft of Labris? But after the girl's surprise faded, she seemed confused by my appearance. It seems that even here in another dimension, people are startled by my attire.
Well, I think that Yukiko is probably the most like I want to say normal-ish character, like female character in 4. Because I mean, like Chie's awesome. She kicks ass.
Yeah,
but she's like steak, and then I mean,
like
Risei's a full-on idol.
If we're talking about P4 versus P3, it's hard because P3 is sadness and P4 is happy friendship. Everyone loves each other. Scooby-Doo, where are you? We have to solve this murder. And I think that,
Yukiko, no.
Suddenly overwhelmed by gay emotions.
Naoto?
At last her reaction allayed my suspicions. People reveal something of themselves when they're caught off guard. Anyone in the act of committing a crime couldn't fake being perplexed so naturally.
Did I surprise you? I suppose my outfit is somewhat unusual.
Oh.
Why are you here?
Well,
A loud cheer suddenly swells, cutting off our conversation.
Chat.
There's definitely a crowd present here.
And the laugh track abruptly stops.
I look around the area in confusion.
What? Where is that coming from?
Students appear one after another, clearly intrigued to see us here.
What's going on?
Before I can react, an image appears on the monitor buried beneath the bizarre decorations.
Hello! Hello! This is General Teddy, your benevolent dictator!
And I, Rosette, am your commentator. It's time for the next round in the P1 Grand Prix. Are you ready to fight?
P1 Grand Prix? Fight?
Suddenly, on the one in the ridiculous costumes queue, smoke pours out from around us. A spotlight shines from somewhere directly upon me.
Ugh.
I instinctively raise my arm to shield my eyes from the harsh light. It feels as if I'm being displayed for an audience.
And who do we have for Yuki-chan's opponent this time? Ooh, it's a mysterious, beautiful lady. How unexpected!
Accurate Teddy impression.
Teddy? What's wrong?
It's a relatable reaction, really.
Yeah.
Do you know that bear?
The monitor showing the one in the costume calling himself General Teddy suddenly fuzzies over with static. The static gets worse and worse, until an eerie, expressionless bear costume that looks as though it had forgot how to make facial expressions appears on screen. The voice is the same as before, but his tone is harsh and mechanical now.
Case 04, unintended intruder. Entering elimination process.
What is that supposed to mean? Ugh. What's going on?
As soon as the abnormality registers, I feel a bizarre noise it's like something scratching against my whole body. Was that some kind of an attack? It didn't seem to have any effect on me, but the girl standing beside me underwent quite a change.
Who do you think you are, showing up alone like this?
Yeah, it was an RSVP +1 party. Wow.
Oh. It's no use trying to talk your way out of it. There's nothing to discuss. You don't even try to understand anyone anyway. If you want to wall yourself off from everyone, I'll be happy to end your lonely life here.
The girl's face distorts with hatred as she spits her words at me. It's a far cry from her earlier demeanor. It's as if she's a completely different person now. And that's not all. Understandably, she seemed to not know me before, but now she speaks as if she does. What is this? Could this be the effect of the noise that I sensed?
Won't be so smug for long. Come, Konohana Sakuya.
A persona?
The girl spreads the fan in her hand, and with a flash of light, a persona manifests. How careless of me. I should have accounted for this possibility as soon as I saw her here in this world.
We won't be settling this peacefully, I see. In which case...
I ready my evoker and concentrate.
To me, Artemisia.
Power rises from within me, and the sensation in my limbs tells me that my persona has emerged. But my hand holding the evoker is still at my side. My persona. Did it just appear without any or the use of my evoker to trigger it? Did I summon it only by thinking?
I didn't need to do this the whole time? What?
But I looked so edgy and cool. Theoretically, one doesn't need an evoker to summon one's persona. I didn't have one the day my persona first manifested, and I've done without it one several times before as well. But never before have I summoned it so easily without any special concentration. It's as if my consciousness is reaching far beyond the boundaries of my body. By way of an analogy, sorry. By way of analogy, it feels like I'm being able to control the wind with my fingertips.
That'd be cool.
Could it be because this world is special? The girl's voice brings me back to the situation at hand. Which reminds me, the girl doesn't seem to use any special implement to summon either.
Sorry. But I won't be defeated either.
Yeah, I think it's a Twitch extension. But it would be actually like so much fun for stream, especially for the kind of games that we stream with like all the menus and stuff, where like it gives you an overlay, and if you guys click on something and enough people click on things, it would like highlight it on our screen. So it shows
that
like
is a Twitch overlay, and it's so good.
Yeah, it shows like basically chat just ends up making penises on the screen the whole time, which is fine. But sometimes they
Not supposed to tell them about the penis, Clay.
It's inevitable. Everyone already knew about it. They were thinking it. But yeah. So it'd be like, look here, streamer, and you'd all like click there and be like, it'd show like a little thing on my screen that's like, everyone wants you to look here.
I can't wait to see Mitsuru's title.
Final.
Oh, damn!
She's so Metal Gear.
The Imperious Queen of Executions.
Oh my god.
Wow, that
Metal
outfit!
Gear.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, Raiden called. Wants his outfit back.
Nyani wants to be bridal carried by Akihito.
Oh, yep. Yep, I do. That sounds like a good time. Oh, Niflheim.
I definitely group Mitsuru with Naoto and Makoto as they would be running this shit outright if the protagonist wasn't around characters.
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Well, she basically was running this shit. Need to be awakened? Yeah, okay.
Joey Jambo. Joey Jambo.
Hey.
Joey Jambo. Thank you for becoming a member.
Thank you.
Who's roll?
Oh, charge. Oh. And square or X, eh? Charge down.
Normally I'm against battle stilettos as they make no sense, but for our queen it works. Now step on chat. Rujin no Ken Wogari.
Beautiful.
Rujin no Ken Wokure! Kurai! That's more accurate.
You're slow. You have time to go.
How does one charge? Do you just hold down?
I don't know. Mitsuru is a charge character, if you know what that means.
What? Down.
Shit.
Artemisia. Hit home. Persona.
Shit.
You're awakened.
Yep. Shit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, got her.
Got her. Ooh.
Sorry, sweetie.
An elegant finish.
Whoa.
Nice. Oh my god.
That's so good. That's so good.
Charge means hold the direction for a second or two. Oh, that's it. Yeah, everything's so fast in these fighting games.
I've been waiting for this. Rubs my face in Aki's glorious abs.
186. I feel the heat there, friend.
Yeah, it's not so much as just our strategy. I just wanted to see it. Like, I don't have to. But
1-hit KOs are part of our strategy.
Yeah.
Once the battle ends, the monitor nearby switches on.
An irregularity has occurred. Multiple intruders detected. Emergency. Intruders are persona users. Due to difficulties in elimination, they will be acknowledged as valid targets.
He obviously refers to myself and the others. Does he mean that he's going to adjust his tactics for dealing with us to our various strengths?
Man, I wonder if Akihiko runs into Chie first.
Oh, I hope. Oh, I hope.
Yeah, right? That would be something.
The way he said that seems like a bad omen.
Valid targets.
I understand that we're considered to be intruders, but what did he mean by that? It seems we're part of the tournament now. But what was the enemy's original plan? The monitor screen's fuzzes again. Once more, it shows the costume person as he originally appeared.
Geez, you need to let me know if you want to get in on the fun. But this is a unique situation, and you're one hot mama, so I'll make an exception. Just keep putting on a good show in your next bout, too.
Who are you? Why don't you take off that strange costume and show your face?
Hey now, I don't think a lady walking around in a cat suit like yours can talk to me about my bear suit. Enough with the questions. Move on.
Again? Yet another person hung up on my outfit.
Okay, are you really surprised?
Ugh. It's unlike me to let these enemy words get under my skin. The monitor switches off with those cheeky
words.
words.
Is that costume thing the one who stole Labris? If so, then what's the purpose of this bizarre tournament? Fine. I'll get a read on your location.
I quickly link my communicator and persona.
They appear to be broadcasting over the monitors in a high school. I love how, like, everyone before this was like, they're broadcasting over the monitors. They must be in the announcement room. And then Mitsuru's like, I'll use my persona to get a beat on their location.
Some personas are more suited to operational support than direct combat. In my case, though, that power is secondary. We normally have a persona user who specializes in that role, but with some specialized equipment, I can get by. I focus my consciousness and send it drifting throughout the surrounding area. The enemy must think he's keeping an eye on us, but he'll learn soon enough that he's not the only one with a bird's eye view of the situation. But before the layout of this place becomes clear, an unexpected change occurs around me. The moment I use my power, noise runs through the students that I've been spectating. In an instant, they turn into something like silhouettes that barely have human shapes. It seems their true colors have been exposed. Are they not human?
What? Were they shadows? If they were, I don't sense any hostility from them. Were they just set dressing that thing in the costume prepared?
Apparently, this disturbance isn't so serious that the large crowd that cheering implied. Apparently, this disturbance isn't so serious that the large crowd that cheering implied was made up entirely of people who entered the TV. That sentence doesn't make sense to me even if I read it slow. Am I stupid?
Apparently, this disturbance isn't so serious that the large crowd that cheering... Okay, so the cheering that she heard implied that there was a large crowd?
Which leaves it a mystery, but it may be best to consider it a blessing.
It's a weird one.
In any case, it appears that apart from this girl here, none of those students were real.
Is basically what she's saying.
The girl who had collapsed on the floor is coming around. I release my persona and rush over to help her. I wasn't fighting to my fullest, so she shouldn't be suffering from any real wounds.
Everyone else, I can't hold back. I won't hold back. Mitsuru, I wasn't fighting my fullest.
There are many mysteries surrounding this girl. She seems to be more than just an associate of one of her, of the one in the bear costume. The moment the girl sees me, she jumps back like a startled animal. Her speech is flustered and her face a bright blushing red. There are tears in her eyes.
How come you knew about that?
About what?
That was private. I never even told anyone at the inn about that. I can't believe someone I've never even met before knew.
I'm so curious. The girl covers her reddened face in shame. I try to think back to what I said to her. Did I point out anything that would cause such a reaction? One detail jumps out at me. The girl's manner of speech shifted before our battle. It wasn't just her personality that abruptly changed. Though we had just met, she talked as if she knew more than she should about my past.
That reminds me. That noise I sensed earlier is gone.
Yet the girl before me now no longer bears any of the senseless animosity from before.
It seems to have been some kind of interference from the enemy. Come to think of it, that bear was egging us on. The interference must have been to ensure two total strangers would fight. General Teddy, was it? He looked comical enough, but he certainly put an elaborate scheme in motion.
No! How could Teddy...
She seemed to have finally calmed down and continues muttering with a perplexed expression.
You know the one in costume, I take it?
Oh, I know him very well. He's usually not like this at all.
Yeah, if he orchestrated this, there'd be some sort of pool with like mud and like blow up weapons or something.
And nurse costumes for Yosuke. Got you covered, bro. I take the girl's hand and again help her to her feet.
Mitsuru Kirijo. I've come here in search of a unique object. Why don't we start over? If you don't mind, I'd like to hear a little about yourself.
Yes. Oh, my name's Yukiko Amagi. I'm sorry for losing my composure just now.
So, Amagi, why did you come to this world?
Where to start? So many strange things happened over the last year.
At first glance, she looks like an ordinary student. So why is she here inside the TV? Amagi briefly summarized her recent past to me in an even tone of voice. According to her, this world was prominent in a serial murder case last year. She and her friends awakened to their personas while investigating the case and eventually solved it. At the case's conclusion, this world formed by people's thoughts returned to its original state. None of this contradicts what I learned from the Detective Kurosawa.
A realm inside a TV, formed by people's thoughts. It sounds absurd, but that would explain the incongruity I sensed when I used my persona.
We thought the case had been solved, but lately there's been another strange program on the air. My friends and I couldn't ignore that, so we came back here.
Your friends? Are there others here besides yourself?
Yes, I was with 3 other people, but we got separated when we entered. The one in costume and the girl who called herself Rosette are friends of ours too, but they're acting so strangely.
So this is not the way they generally behave then?
I can tell from Amagi's reaction that normally she trusts those two implicitly. Considering what the enemy did to her earlier, could they be under its control as well? Either way, it sheds no light on the theft of Labris. How are they related? Or is this incident only a coincidence?
There's one more thing I'm curious about. Have you ever heard the name Labris?
Labris? No, I don't think I've ever heard of that before. What is it?
Is Labris a reference to Labyrinth? Because
it feels
she
like it
creates these mazes and illusions and stuff.
Like that's what it really feels like,
right?
It's the thing I'm searching for.
Oh, but someone said it's like literally
what makes
axe.
it problematic is that I know nothing of its appearance. Honestly, I'm not sure it has anything to do with this disturbance, though I can't write it off completely as irrelevant.
Though it appears that there is no connection, whoever went so far as to hijack a plane to steal Labyrinths brought her all the way here.
And Carrick says it's a small double-handed axe. Yeah, okay.
I like the Labyrinth thing. I think it's cool, even if it's incorrect.
No matter how I look at it, that means something.
Anyway, thank you for your cooperation. I understand the situation better now. We should stay together going forward.
Someone said two-sided axe, like Aegis is a shield. Yeah, I love the term and name Aegis. It's cool. I use it all the time. But that being said, I just had a thought where all of the Iga sisters combine into a bigger, like, badder shadow fighting robot that has all the different weapons.
Whoa! Think again, ladies!
General Teddy suddenly appears on the screen to interrupt our conversation.
Only the winner of each bout can go on. It's rule number 1 in the Grand Prix.
How exactly can that rule be enforced? As if to answer my unspoken question, Amagi makes an odd gesture.
There's nothing here, but I can feel something. A wall, maybe? Wait, but Mitsuru-san could...
Amagi looks at me expectantly. I take a tentative step and walk through the place where she claims that there is a wall.
Like I said, you're stuck there until the tournament's over. Only winners get to go. Come on, miss. You won. So it's time to barrel forward to the next stage.
I must leave the girl alone in this strange world, then.
And put a stop to these puns.
Though I'm uneasy about doing so. Amagi seems to read my thoughts and smiles.
Thank you, but I'll be all right. I fought shadows for an entire year, too. I can protect myself.
I see. In that case, I'll press on and do my best to rescue your friends.
If you see them, please tell them I'm all right and they shouldn't worry about me. You be careful too, Mitsuru-san.
Amagi smiles resolutely. She's a very strong girl.
I'll pass that along.
I nod, acknowledging her wishes, and turn my back. Turn my back to walk away.
Not only do they tamper with our minds, they prevent us from leaving until the tournament is settled. It may not necessarily ruin friendships, but there's no way forward than to fight one another. The loathsome trick. It seems the mastermind is intent on us fighting each other.
I grit my teeth in anger. Amagi's clear eyes remain in my heart. This operation, it's no longer just to retrieve Labris. I make a silent vow as I go. Everyone who's been dragged into this must be rescued.
You can play like a couple things if you want.
Another dead end.
I will play them.
Everyone is thirsting. Even my husband stopped what he was doing to watch now. Goddamn, everyone take a drink before y'all pass out.
Slowpoke.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, Akihiko, man, he make me thirsty.
I find it interesting that Mitsuru's persona is Artemisia, not her initial persona, while Yosuke had Jiraiya.
Julian, it's probably because she's older now.
Well, I'm not an expert on the subject, but we're playing Persona 4 Arena, which is not technically... Well, we're playing ULTIMAX, we're playing the Arena Story DLC, which came out before Golden. So I don't think they've had their fully awakened forms at that point. Well, there were like 2 awakenings. I guess they awakened the first one. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Jack can really help you out with that. But I assume that this is before they awaken, and maybe when we do ULTIMAX, they'll get their awakened ones.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
As I step into the school, I realize that these invisible walls are everywhere, blocking off routes that seem open to the naked eye. Why is the thief who stole Labris gathering Persona users in this world?
Oh, yeah, I remember talking about that now when we did P3. And then Howie says, because the evolutions are canon in the P3 one was part of the story, but in P4 they were tied to the social links and were technically optional, I guess.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Not having a clear idea of their motivations is aggravating my anxiety. Igus and Akihiko may have been dragged into this Grand Prix as well. If so, we need to compare notes. If all goes well, we may figure out the location of the mastermind behind this that I failed to grasp earlier. After quickly confirming that there are no shadows nearby, I link my communicator with my persona. I focus my consciousness and send it drifting throughout the surrounding area.
Hurts. So lonely.
Aww.
What was that?
The presence is faint. I can't tell where it is, yet I can definitely hear a voice.
Oops, sorry.
It's more like the words and the intense emotions behind them are seeping out of the room itself, perhaps even from all around me. Eventually, the voice becomes clearer.
I'm scared. And alone. It hurts. Why? Why won't anyone listen?
I don't recognize the voice. Perhaps one of Amagi's friends.
I didn't ask to be born a machine. How come come no one understands? What's the difference between normal people's hearts and mine?
A machine? Is that Labris?
I stand up and try calling to her.
Labris! Are you nearby? Answer me!
But there is no answer. It seems that it's not because the voice's owner is nearby that I can hear her. It's subtly different from hearing voices with one own's ears. It's true. I focus my senses once again, but I still can't tell exactly where it's coming from. Not yet having a thorough command on the layout here makes it harder to pinpoint. Eventually, the voice fades. Only silence remains.
Yeah. Okay. Take that. Did anyone ever got mad at me for getting lost in the P4 school, okay? Not even Mitsuru can really get a grasp on its frickin' construction. Yeah. It's real confusing, okay?
Going by what she said, that had to have been Labris. Sounds as if her heart has developed further than we thought.
Even Igus, the latest model, required a lot of time and experience to develop the heart she has.
I was thinking about that.
So why does Labris, who's been sealed from her development up till now, have such an advanced heart?
I didn't ask to be born a machine. It pains me to hear that.
The anti-shadow suppression weapons. Both Igus and Labris were created as insurance for dangerous shadow experimentations, in case the subject should go berserk. The only thing that can stand up against a shadow is a persona, and being able to control one is absolutely necessary when dealing with shadows.
Close enough.
Thus, they were given hearts in order to be able to induce their ability to use personas. But a weapon that has a heart contradicts itself. It was natural for Igus to face that contradiction, and it caused her serious anguish in the past.
We can't allow victims like her to be tormented by sins of the past, whether they're human or not.
Newly resolved, I press on. I continue through the school, still unable to contact Igus or Akihiko. The invisible walls seem to be leading me towards the gym. Compared to the one back at Gakukan High, this one is rather modest, but the chairs stacked to unusual heights and the monitors everywhere give it an eerie feel. Ah, the monitor switches on again. But this time, it's not showing General Teddy. How strange. This appears to be a commercial for a fighting event. A succession of young men in Whippin are introduced as participants.
I thought they would take it as an opportunity to play it again.
Me too. One of them I recognize as
They're wearing
Amagi.
the same uniforms as Amagi. I assume these are the friends she spoke of.
All of them are introduced with horrible epitaphs, but the Amagi I met in person was completely different. Was a completely different, sophisticated girl. I suppose the enemy made up all the taglines. Just as Amagi's introduction ends, the video suddenly turns off and General Teddy's face appears on screen.
I had to completely rejigger the bracket to accommodate 3 new contestants. Jeez.
3 new contestants. Myself, Akihiko, and Igus?
On the other paw, a tournament's more exciting with more people in it. But getting back on track, allow me to introduce your next opponent.
When I enter, someone who'd already been there turns around. His face, it was on the video a moment ago.
Huh? There's people besides us here?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't think Yosuke's gonna handle this well.
Holy crap, she's smoking hot. The thing she's wearing doesn't hurt either.
I can hear you.
Inside thoughts,
You were in
Yosuke.
that video just now. What was it they called you? Captain Ressentiment?
This kills the Yosuke.
How come you remember that stupid title and not my real name? Figures I need a knockout like this. She already knows about that. God, I wish I was dead.
Apparently, the epitaphs from the video hit a sore point with the people featured. The nickname left more of an impression than his real name, so it just slipped out.
Sure does.
At that moment, General Teddy appears again on one of the larger monitors inside the gym.
How do you like your opponent?
Why are you making us fight? What benefit do you derive from this nonsense?
So many questions. I just want you all to suffer. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that fun?
Boo, 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 boo.
That's what this is about? No. If Labris is involved, there's more to it, isn't there?
Enough jibber jabber. Hurry and start the fight.
Look at your opponent. He's ready, see?
The general's smirk strikes me as incongruous.
So I wonder if, because Mitsuru has those like secondary abilities, if it's more obvious when the illusions kick in.
Yeah, it seems like.
It's the same as that time with Amagi. As I glare at the monitor, thinking that more interference is at work here, I hear unexpectedly bitter words.
Yeah, Teddy's right. I mean, you're the one who barged in here. Man, who'd come to such a dangerous place without hesitating? You really are an ice queen. I bet you don't have many friends, huh?
It's happening again. The moment that noise kicks in, not only does my opponent's personality change, they begin speaking of things they shouldn't know about. It's exactly like what happened with Amagi.
You talk as if you know me.
Stop acting so calm and changing the subject.
No, I think that was pretty on topic.
You seem like you don't know much about this world. So how do you plan to get out? Don't tell me you rushed in here with no escape plan. Oh man, seriously? You're nuts. People like you who obsess over responsibility and put all the burden on yourselves, you annoy the hell out of me.
I'm so much more curious as to what Mitsuru would say to Yosuke.
I know, me
Doesn't
too.
matter how others perceive me.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Isn't that because you don't trust anyone?
We clearly can't have a normal conversation with the enemy's interference, but even knowing that, I catch myself trying to argue the point. The heavy responsibility I suffer is mine alone. All alone. If I share it with someone, that means that suffering will also be shared. That is why I try to be self-sufficient. The more I care about someone, the less I'm willing to rely on them.
Aww.
But isn't that no better than not believing in them? I've been caught in that trap before. Maybe I still haven't truly escaped it. But how could he guess that at my private distress, one that I barely confided in others before?
I was supposedly an unexpected intruder. What's going on?
What are you mumbling about? Well, let me ease your mind. I'll end everything for you. Let's do this, Jiraiya!
Go, Yosuke-senpai! Beat up that shady lady! Let the fight begin!
I can see there'll be no talking sense with him like this. There's nothing for it then. Artemisia!
Arxis said the P4 cast using their personas was just a stylistic choice. They're more recognizable.
Teddy's is so much fun, though.
Yeah. Kin Toki Joji.
Final.
Cool. Wow, fast. I wanted to square or X. Oh, so I try to go down. It's an awaken, right? Oh, just 50 SP? Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, of course.
Where's Marin Karen?
We don't talk about that.
Why can't we use Marin Karen? It's the perfect time to use it.
It's true. Wait, does she have a counter?
Oh, think Guile in Street Fighter.
I never played Guile.
Oh, that's how you use charge.
Timing can change for the B version by holding the button down. Can be powered up by piercing. Alright.
Ooh, nice combo.
That wasn't me.
I know.
That was close! Down here! I'll fight to the bitter end! Just getting started! Just getting started! Right! Just in a fast! Just in a fast! I'm coming for you!
Ooh. Nice!
Just getting started!
I'm coming for you!
I think I just used Marin Karn.
Oh, so close!
I was messing around a little bit. I think I accidentally used Marin Karn somehow. Was it on a different page? You actually can use Marin Karn, but you need to be crouching. I know, right? Dust Mirage, I accidentally used it. I think that was Buffalo though. It's pretty cool.
Finals.
God, they just come at you. Oh, that's Yosuke. Wow, her moveset is so much smaller. But she has like a hidden Marin Karn. Does it say with the downcharge one? I don't know.
It's not on the command list because it's not special. That's what Fury says.
Oh. I almost had it. Was it Circle X? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, great. Oh shit. Wow. Oh shit, did he get it on me? Wow. Oh shit.
Yes!
Ooh, cool. Damn, her outfit though, my god.
I know, my goodness, my gracious. Whew.
So much damage. Yeah, that's cool. I couldn't Martin Karn though, but I'll figure it out later. All right. That's a good place to bookmark.
I know. Can you get to a place where you have music?
He's being stepped on. He's being stepped on.
Can you get to a place where we got music?
No.
Oh.
Boop.
Aw, you're so useless, Yosuke-senpai. Unfortunately, the party crasher wins.
But why does she poop at the parties?
Why she poop at the parties? Every party needs a pooper. That was a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying taking a small break from the
P4 stories.
Yeah, the P4 stories.
The looping P4 story. But it seems like at least Naoto and Kanji's will be a bit different. I'm more concerned about Yukiko and Chie's.
Yeah, I think those are going to be very, very similar.
Yeah. But it's so cool to have a different perspective on this. I feel like maybe Aigus's will be similar, but a little different. But it seems like Akihiko's will be a little different on the intro. We'll get a little maybe light shed on what he's been doing for all that time. So,
right?
Yeah, I think it's cool. I'm obviously like these different stories don't exactly line up, and of course, how can they when different people need to win different conflicts?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how it all comes together.
Yeah.
Into a cohesive story, if it does. Because I assume that you unlock like the ending or whatever. Right?
There must be like the one ending.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume, but hey, we're gonna find out. I don't want to answer. These are all rhetorical questions, of course. As I avert my eyes from chat, I'm just speaking. Oh. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, it's a lot of fun, and we're doing it again. We're doing it again tomorrow. Final Fantasy 8 and Persona 4 Golden, and then maybe some Jackbox after. You know?
Yeah.
Super casual.
Yeah.
But for now, I've got some stuff to put up, so I'm gonna do that. And then yeah, we have the ULTIMAX story afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Whoa, dude. New month, new board. We said Persona 4 Golden? Persona 4 Arena ULTIMAX Golden.
My bad.
It's funny, like, as like what our mouths decide they're gonna say after you say Persona, because sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 4 Golden, sometimes it's 5 Golden.
And if like the spin-offs are similar, I'm so excited for Scramble.
I'm excited for Scramble because it's a Muso game, and I want to play a Muso game. Let me play a Muso game. Muso over. I have one more thing for you. I know Hyrule Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors. There was Warriors Orochi on on sale. It has 130 playable characters.
What? That's ridiculous.
130. One of them is the one of them is the goddess of like the earth, and she uses magic, and it looks so cool.
Wow, the goddess of the earth.
I know. Has anyone in chat played Warriors Orochi? Also One Piece Warriors. I just like smashing lots of dude and doing cool stuff.
No. You just like smashing up.
If I could. And take what you can get. Yeah, me too, Will. Like, I actually remember playing them over summer vacation at a friend's house, and his mom was like, so you guys need to get jobs. Like, you have to get jobs now. And I'm like, but I'm playing video games. She's like, you're going to stop playing video games, and you're going to get jobs. And I was like, okay. To play video games on your couch. Yeah, L0? I've never done any of the Nintendo ones. We have Hyrule Warriors, I think.
Yeah, but you got my birthday.
Oh, and Godzilla says Symphogear should do a Musou game.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So needless to say, I had to stop playing the game I was playing. I got an elephant, and I was trouncing around everything with elephants, and it was so good.
In a weird way, accidentally, it looks like everything is coming out of that one cup. It's like
a little bit, doesn't it?
A little bit.
Good, I wish that was me. Jealous Pop-chan.
Chan! Thank you, Chan.
Most of the stuff before the TV is canon, while some of the stuff inside the TV in each story is also canon.
Gestrid!
That's confusing.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Everything's canon except for the parts that aren't canon.
My favorite P4 race stories are Redacted and Redacted.
Oh, those are good ones, Julian.
It's a bit controversial, though.
I know.
So brave. So brave. It's so wrong. Yeah, I'm excited. Each one's really great.
Nickelback is canon.
Oh, yeah. I know. I'm keeping an eye out for other references like that. But, I mean, it feels like they tossed a ton of references in there. And what's funny is that, like, obviously, I don't think the localization team, like, copy and pasted an image over it. So it's pretty neat that there are those Western music references that were put there by, I assume, the original team.
Right?
So it's neat. I think it's cool. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
it's unmistakably like those album covers.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I enjoy that a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Final Fantasy
this is
Multiplayer.
it.
It is it. The end. Until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun, though. Look forward to them. Okay. And have a happy Canada Day, no matter
Happy
where you are.
Canada Day.
It's Canada's birthday.
Yay, we did it.
Yay. We asked her, like, hey, want to be our own country? And they were like, sure. I'm like, cool. We'll still keep the
Nice.
queen around
Yeah.
a little bit. So we have to give props to the queen every now and again.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good job, lady. Okay.
All right.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye. Love
Bye.
you. Bye.